Hi, it's Sharma. Welcome to this new session of my video blog. In this talk, I want to share something powerful with you, something that truly shapes every part of your life, your career, your relationships, and even your happiness. It's all about what I call the 4 creative forces. These are the 4 key things that we all use, consciously or unconsciously, to create the results we experience every single day, whether it's success or struggle, joy or frustration, excellence or mediocrity. It all comes down to how well we manage these 4 forces. When you use them wisely, you'll notice extraordinary results in your life. But if you misuse or neglect them, the results will reflect that. So what exactly are these 4 creative forces that build the foundation of everything we do? They are simple, but incredibly powerful. The first one is your thoughts. The second is how you feel. The third is your words. And the fourth is your actions or deeds. Let's go through them one by one. And as we do, I want you to reflect deeply on how each of these plays out in your daily life. Your thoughts, every single thought that runs through your mind carries energy. Every thought you think has a consequence. It shapes your reality in ways you might not even realize. Everything that you see around you today, every success, every creation, every innovation first existed as a thought in someone's mind. Every single habit you've ever built began as a thought. You thought it, you believed it, and then you acted on it until it became part of who you are. If your thoughts are positive, focused, and constructive, your outer world will reflect that positivity and focus. But if your thoughts are negative, self-defeating, or scattered, then that inner chaos will eventually show up in your external world. That's why guarding your mind is one of the most important disciplines of a great life. The second creative force is how you feel. Many people underestimate the power of emotion, but feelings are incredibly creative. Your emotions are like magnets. They attract experiences that match their vibration. If you feel excellent, you'll naturally create excellent results. If you feel inspired and passionate, that passion will flow into your work, your communication, your relationships, and others will feel it too. Your energy becomes contagious. But if you allow yourself to feel dull, resentful, or uninspired, your results will show that lack of enthusiasm. The way you feel each day directly influences the quality of what you create. So nurture your emotional health. Surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who lift you up, not pull you down. Listen to great music, read uplifting books, meditate, exercise. Do whatever helps you keep your inner state strong and inspired. The third creative force is your words. We often forget that words carry incredible power. Words are not just sounds. They are vibrations that shape reality. The language you use can either build or destroy. The words you choose become the seeds of your destiny. If you constantly speak negatively, saying things like, I can't, it's impossible, or I'll never make it, those words start to create limitations in your mind. But if you speak words of faith, confidence, and hope, you start to build a different reality. When you label an event a tragedy, you give it power to hurt you. When you call it a lesson, you gain power from it. If you use careless or disrespectful words with your team, your friends, or your clients, that energy will affect your relationships and your reputation. But when you speak with kindness, clarity, and respect, people will respond with the same. Leadership language matters. The best leaders choose their words with care because they know their words create worlds. And then comes the fourth creative force, your actions, or as I like to call them, your deeds. Actions are the bridge between your inner world and the outer results you experience. Every single thing you do or fail to do has consequences. You can think positively all day, you can feel inspired, and you can speak powerfully, but if your actions don't align with your intentions, nothing truly changes. It's your daily behavior that determines your destiny. Every choice you make, every step you take, every small act you repeat consistently builds your future. World-class results come from world-class actions. Excellence isn't a one-time thing, it's a habit. It's the way you show up when nobody's watching. It's the standard you hold yourself to even when no one else expects it. The smallest details, done consistently well, lead to the biggest transformations over time. Now, I want you to do a quick exercise. Grab a notebook or open the Notes app on your phone. Pause this video if you need to. I want you to write down those 4 creative forces: your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your actions. Write them clearly and leave some space next to each one. Once you've done that, I want you to rate yourself from 1 to 10 in each area. 10 means world class. You're operating at your very best. 1 means you're struggling or being careless in that area. Be honest with yourself. This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. How positive and focused are your thoughts on a daily basis? How often do you catch yourself thinking negatively or doubting your potential? How vibrant and passionate are your emotions? Do you let external situations control your mood, or do you take charge of your emotional state? How uplifting and empowering are your words, both the ones you speak out loud and the ones you say silently to yourself? And how consistent, disciplined, and courageous are your actions? Do your daily behaviors reflect your highest values and ambitions, or are they driven by old habits and fears? Take a few moments to reflect. Awareness is the first step toward mastery. When you know where you currently stand, you can start improving with intention. As you begin to raise your standards in these 4 creative forces, something amazing will happen. You'll start to notice shifts in your external world. Your relationships will improve. Your performance at work will rise. Your creativity will expand. You'll feel more alive, more centered, and more in control of your destiny. You see, all the outer results in life, success, wealth, happiness, love, are nothing more than reflections of what's happening inside you. Change the inner world, and the outer world must follow. So as you move forward, I encourage you to stay conscious of your thoughts, nurture your emotions, use words that uplift, and take actions that reflect your best self. Make this your daily practice. Don't just do it once, live it. The great thing about these 4 creative forces is that they're completely within your control. You don't need anyone's permission to think better, to feel better, to speak better, or to act better. The power has been in your hands all along. Imagine what your life could look like 6 months or a year from now if you mastered these 4 forces. Imagine waking up each day with clear, focused thoughts, a heart full of passion, words that inspire others, and actions that move you toward your biggest dreams. That's not fantasy. It's completely possible when you live with awareness and discipline. So today, make a decision, a real, firm decision that you will start managing your inner world like a true professional. You'll protect your thoughts from negativity. You'll nurture your emotions with gratitude and joy. You'll choose your words with care and kindness. And you'll take bold, consistent action toward your goals every single day. When you do that, your outer world will begin to mirror your inner greatness. Success will stop being a random event and start becoming a predictable result of how you think, feel, speak, and act. That's the real secret to transformation. Thank you for being here with me. Remember, it's not enough to know. You must apply. It's not enough to wish. You must act. Every single day is a new opportunity to create something extraordinary. Use these 4 creative forces wisely, and you'll begin to see magic unfold in your life. Now, Let me share something personal with you. Over the years, I've worked with leaders, entrepreneurs, athletes, and everyday heroes from all around the world. Some of them were at the very top of their game, while others were just beginning their journey. But regardless of where they started, I noticed one truth that never changes. The people who consistently create extraordinary results are the ones who take full responsibility for their inner world. They don't wait for perfect circumstances. They don't blame the economy, their past, or other people. They focus on what they can control: their thoughts, their emotions, their words, and their actions. That's the power of self-leadership. When you master these 4 creative forces, you stop being a victim of life and start becoming the author of your destiny. You no longer react to what happens. You respond with clarity and intention. You stop living by default and start living by design. Let's dive a little deeper into how this works in daily life. Think about your mornings. The first few minutes after you wake up are some of the most powerful moments of your day. Your mind is still quiet, your emotions are fresh, and your words, even the ones you say to yourself silently, set the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up and instantly check your phone, scroll through news, or read negative messages, your thoughts immediately get filled with noise and comparison. But if you start your day with gratitude, if you take a few deep breaths and remind yourself of your goals, if you speak to yourself with encouragement, I'm strong, I'm focused, I'm grateful, then you're already using the 4 creative forces wisely. A single positive thought in the morning can plant the seed for a successful day. A single negative thought can poison it. That's how delicate and powerful your inner world is. Now think about emotions again. Have you ever noticed how when you're in a great mood, everything seems to flow more smoothly? Traffic doesn't bother you as much. Challenges feel easier to handle. You smile more and suddenly people smile back. That's because your emotional state shapes your perception of reality. When you feel good, you attract good experiences. And when you feel low, even small things start to seem heavy. So, one of the best skills you can develop is emotional mastery, learning how to shift your state quickly. You can do this through simple habits: movement, music, meditation, deep breathing, prayer, journaling, or simply reminding yourself of what's good in your life. Emotional mastery isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about learning to rise above temporary emotions and reconnect with your purpose. Now let's talk about words again, because this is a force most people completely underestimate. Every conversation you have is either an opportunity to elevate someone or to drain their energy. When you speak to your team, your friends, your family, are your words building them up or breaking them down? Leaders who inspire speak with clarity and respect. They use words like we, together, possibility. They paint pictures of a better future. People follow leaders who make them feel capable, not small. So pay attention to how you speak, not just to others, but to yourself. If your inner dialogue is filled with self-criticism, I'm not good enough, I always fail, nothing ever works for me, then those words are quietly shaping your reality. Start speaking to yourself like you would to someone you love. Encourage yourself, forgive yourself, push yourself forward with compassion, not judgment. Now, on to actions, because this is where the magic becomes visible. Action is what turns invisible thoughts into tangible results. You can spend hours visualizing success, but until you take that first step, nothing moves. The secret is consistency, the small daily actions you take, even when you don't feel like it, are what separate those who dream from those who achieve. Winners aren't motivated every day, they're disciplined every day. They act on their values, not their moods. So ask yourself right now, what small, consistent action can you take today that will move you closer to your biggest goal? It doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be real. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes. Maybe it's making one phone call. Maybe it's showing kindness to someone without expecting anything back. Each of those small acts becomes part of a bigger pattern, and that pattern defines your destiny. Here's something powerful to remember. You don't need to make massive changes overnight. You just need to start improving by 1% each day. 1% might seem small, but compounded over a year, it's transformational. Imagine improving your thoughts by 1% each day, being just a little more positive, a little more focused. Imagine raising your emotional state by 1%, smiling a bit more, worrying a bit less. Imagine speaking 1% more kindly, taking 1% more courageous action. That's how greatness is built. Quietly, gradually, consistently. And remember, the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. You don't attract success. You become it. When your inner world is full of discipline, gratitude, and love, your outer world starts reflecting the same. Now, here's a question I often ask myself, and I encourage you to ask it too. What's the story I'm telling myself about my life right now? Because the story you tell yourself becomes the life you live. If your story is, I'm not lucky, I've missed my chance, or it's too late for me, then your mind will find proof to support that story. But if your story becomes, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm becoming stronger every day, then your actions and results will shift accordingly. You are the narrator of your life story, and you can rewrite it at any time. So, as you finish this session, remember this: the 4 creative forces are always at work, whether you're aware of them or not. They don't turn off. Every thought is planting a seed. Every emotion is fueling your energy. Every word is shaping your relationships. Every action is carving your path. The question is, are you creating consciously or unconsciously? Are you living by choice or by chance? If you want to live a life that's meaningful, joyful, and full of purpose, then take charge of these 4 forces starting today. Make them your daily practice. When your thoughts align with positivity, your emotions vibrate with joy, your words echo with truth, and your actions express integrity, your life will begin to reflect greatness. And when you slip, because we all do, just return to awareness. Growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. Every single day is another chance to create again, to think better, to feel deeper, to speak wiser, to act braver. That's how transformation happens. That's how leaders are made. That's how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. So wherever you are right now, take a deep breath. Smile. Remember the power that lives within you. You are the artist of your own destiny, and the canvas of your life is waiting for your next brushstroke. Go out there and create something beautiful with your thoughts, your emotions, your words, and your actions. The world is waiting for your light. Let me take this a little deeper. We often think life happens to us, that things are out of our control, that destiny has already written the script. But the truth is, life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. Every situation, every event, every challenge, every victory, they all flow through the filter of your inner world. That's why 2 people can face the same situation and respond in completely different ways. One person sees failure as the end. The other sees it as feedback. One gives up. The other grows stronger. The difference isn't in the event. It's in their inner dialogue, their emotional state, and the meaning they attach to it. When you begin to take full responsibility for your reactions, you unlock your true freedom. You no longer depend on others to make you feel good. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You realize you already have everything you need to create a better reality. The great leaders and thinkers of history, people like Nelson Mandela, Viktor Frankl, Mahatma Gandhi, all understood this truth. They were placed in circumstances that would break most people, yet they found strength in the way they chose to think, feel, and act. They used their inner power to shape the outer world. So ask yourself, how can you apply that in your own life? Maybe you're going through a challenge right now. Maybe something isn't working the way you hoped. Instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this trying to teach me? That simple shift in perspective changes everything. It moves you from being a victim to being a student of life. Every difficulty carries a lesson wrapped inside it. Every setback has the seed of a comeback. Sometimes the universe delays your success not to punish you, but to prepare you to make sure you're strong enough, wise enough, and grateful enough to handle what's coming. Now, let's return to the power of thoughts, because they truly are the beginning of everything. Your thoughts are like seeds. You can plant seeds of fear or seeds of faith, seeds of doubt or seeds of hope. Whichever you nurture will grow. If you constantly think about problems, you create more of them. But if you think about solutions, you start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. That's why people who think big often achieve big. They train their mind to look beyond limitations. Start your day by planting positive seeds. Instead of saying, I have so much to do, I'm so tired, try saying, I'm grateful for another day to create something meaningful. Instead of, I'm scared I'll fail, say, I'm excited to learn. Those small shifts in language reshape your mindset, and your mindset shapes your reality. And when it comes to feelings, remember this. Emotion is energy in motion. Whatever emotion you hold inside moves you toward or away from your goals. If you're filled with anger or worry, you block your creativity. But when you operate from gratitude, joy, and peace, your energy flows freely. So make gratitude a daily ritual. Write down 3 things you're thankful for every morning. It might sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful habits you'll ever build. Gratitude turns ordinary days into blessings and challenges into opportunities for growth. And when you're having a hard day, because we all do, remind yourself that feelings are temporary. The storm always passes. The key is not to let temporary emotions lead to permanent decisions. Sometimes all you need is patience and perspective. Now let's talk once again about words, because words shape your identity. I remember once hearing a line that said, you are the story you tell yourself every day. If you keep telling yourself that you're unlucky, that you're not smart enough, that you always make mistakes, you'll live that story. But if you tell yourself you are learning, growing, and improving, that story begins to come true too. Your self-talk determines your self-image, and your self-image determines your success. So start speaking words that match the person you want to become, not the person you used to be. Say things like, I'm capable, I'm strong, I'm grateful, I'm improving, I'm proud of how far I've come. Even if you don't fully believe it at first, say it anyway. Over time, your mind will start to accept those words as truth. And once that happens, your behavior and results will naturally align. And finally, actions, because without them, all the rest means nothing. You can think positively, feel inspired, and talk about your goals endlessly. But it's your consistent actions that make dreams real. Every step counts. Every effort matters. Greatness isn't achieved by sudden leaps. It's built by steady progress. The small disciplines you repeat every day, those are the real game changers. waking up early when you don't feel like it, reading instead of scrolling, exercising when it's easier to rest, being kind when it's easier to complain. Success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do every day. So fall in love with the process. Celebrate small wins. Be patient with yourself. Remember, even nature takes time. Flowers don't bloom the day after you plant them. You have to water them daily, protect them, and trust the process. Your dreams work the same way. When you feel like giving up, remind yourself why you started. Think about the person you want to become, the life you want to live, and the people who believe in you. Every great achievement was once just a dream that someone refused to give up on. And remember this, the world doesn't need more people playing small. The world needs people who are alive, passionate, and purpose-driven. People who think deeply, feel compassionately, speak truthfully, and act courageously. That's who you are capable of being. So, as we wrap up, I want you to promise yourself something. From this day forward, you'll no longer let your fears, doubts, or excuses control your life. You'll start using your 4 creative forces with intention. You'll think thoughts that empower you, feel emotions that strengthen you, speak words that inspire, and take actions that align with your highest purpose. Each day, you'll get a little better, a little wiser, a little stronger, and one day, you'll look back and realize you've completely transformed your life, not by luck, but by choice. Because transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you show up every day, when you choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and purpose over pleasure. That's when your life starts to unfold in ways you never imagined. You were born to create. You were born to inspire. You were born to live with meaning. And when you master your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions, you don't just change your results, you change your entire destiny. So go out there today. Think with purpose. Feel with passion. Speak with love. Act with courage. And always remember, your life is your greatest masterpiece. Paint it beautifully